Welcome to episode 2 of Stoner Stories. Uh, this is gonna be just casual solo run. But today I'm gonna be talking about, tonight, I'm gonna be talking about, family drama. Not with my active family, but members, but more, my father. Now, I don't really like to talk about him a lot to any of my friends because he's barely in my life for what it's worth. And it's just sad because I'm always so used to seeing kids be like, hey, we have our father and we're happy, but you know what? I have my stepdad and I'm happy he stepped up. But I'm gonna talk about my father today. Now, me and my father don't get along at all. The fucker literally is neglectful of me. And it hurts. It hurts to know that man out there doesn't care about the one person not one person, it's one of the two people he gave birth to, and it hurts. And of course I never really had my father in my life. I had my stepdad, and my stepdad is one of the coolest people ever. Like, I'm really glad and thankful to have him. Yeah, we may get into disagreements, and he may see the world differently than most people, but I still love him for that. He taught me that sometimes the world won't be nice to you, so you gotta learn to bounce back and fight back, pretty much. You gotta fight for what you want. Which I'm happy I learned that from my dad. I forgot to change my trinkets. I'm so smart. Anyways, but I'm happy I learned that from my stepdad. My stepdad if he wasn't in my life, I'd probably be a very, very worse off person than I already am today. And I want people to understand that while we may not agree sometimes with the father figures in our lives, they're there for a reason. They're there putting up with our bullshit, and as much as we say sometimes that we hate our family members, deep down, we don't really. We just don't like the rules that are set to just keep us safe. And I am very upset, don't get me wrong. I'm upset at my father for not caring enough about me. I'm upset at him for not being there for me. And it hurts, because when you grow up the way I did, my mom was always so nice, and my father, well, was barely in my life, whereas my stepdad wasn't. And my father showed up for Christmas when I was 15, and he said I could tell him how I truly felt. And at that time, being a young kid, I didn't take I didn't say that I hated him. I said that I loved him. Because I thought showing love to my father would at least make him stay a little bit longer. I now have come to understand that my father doesn't care about me. In fact, my father could probably care less about me. He could probably wish that I was just better off dead. And that's sadly the truth. But I'm happy that I have the stepdad I do. Because if I didn't have the stepdad I did, then, as I said, I wouldn't be better off. I'd probably be a lot more depressed. There was another dipshit in this house who tried to marry my mom. And we'll just call him Fuckface. Because this guy was a prick. I find two $5 bills equaling up to $10. Oh, I'm taking $5 of that as tax. Tax for what? Finding the money? Not to mention, he is also a person who had kicked me in the groin with a steel-toed boot. Ironic with the music change. But he was not a great person, and I fucking hated him. I'm glad he's out of my life now, but living in his place for the time that me and my family were trying to get situated in a new house it didn't feel safe. He didn't have Wi-Fi. The room I was in had a broken window, and I ended up moving to sleep on the couch, which, don't ask me how it felt safer to sleep on the couch than it did in a room with a broken window. I think it was because the fact that there was actually a fucking door with a lock and a window that wasn't broken instead of a blanket covering the window is what made me feel safe. But either way, it taught me that people are fucking assholes, and I gotta be wary of who I talk to, because some people, they won't tell you how they're living, and they'll sometimes try and leech off of you. But then you have people who will tell you about how they're living, and they won't try to leech off of you, even if they're in such a dire situation. I've been on the other end of that, where I've sometimes gone a couple days without food, and Bunny will eventually hear about me not going a couple days without food, and ask me why didn't I ask her. And my response will always be, I don't want you to spend the money on me and waste it. And I understand she's my girlfriend. I understand she's spending the money on me because she cares about me. But I feel, it's hard to explain, but I feel like an asshole anytime that I have to ask someone for food. Like, that's just fucked. And I know that people are going to be like, well, you're not frequently asking for it, so it's fine. It's not the fact that I'm not even frequently asking, it's the fact that I'm asking in the first place. I feel bad for asking for help and trying to reach out. It's hard to reach out for me because I'm so used to just being turned down by a couple of friend groups I used to have in the past. I was a friend of a person who was a general piece of shit. And when I mean general piece of shit, I mean like I used to have a creative side to Minecraft. Like, I used to like doing builds and survival and stuff. And these fuckers ended up just basically briefing my entire build. And I just stopped at that point. I stopped playing on the server. It wasn't fun when you have people who are just willing to literally bully you because they find it funny. And not only that, rob your corpse too. Because it's just... it's hard when you have friends who lie to you. And, well, not really friends, but people who lie to you and pretend to be your friends. I experienced that a lot, and I eventually ended up joining a new Minecraft server where there was someone admin abusing. A friend had invited me to the server. So I joined in because I wanted to do a little bit of gameplay, you know, see what kind of chaos I could commence. And pretty much I got into this cave and covered up the entrance with dirt, basically making it look like a regular hill patch. I see the owner drop in, look at me in full netherite gear, by the way. Like, everyone else is like completely new. The owner drops in full netherite gear and looks at me and just flies out, placing melon blocks behind them. It was interesting, to say the least, to see. But this person was a manipulator and a liar. And I joined their Discord server, and I met one of my closest friends, Vivi. And I could see right through this owner's lies. And Vivi at first thought that I was just another one of the owner's friends, because they had set me as a co-owner. Yes, someone completely random set as co-owner. I was baffled too. Anyways, but I started to talk with them and be like, hey, you know, I think this person's manipulating you. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And so I start pointing this stuff out. And I'm like, it's a very easy way to tell. And I noticed that this person, Vivi, is just pretty much surprised, because this person had pretty much been using them most of their life with quote-unquote blackmail and other stuff. And eventually they tried to target me. And what do I mean by that? Well, they tried to start a fight in my Vivi's Discord server. And what ended up happening was I ended up shutting that stuff down by muting both I almost said their name. By muting both that person and their ex-boyfriend. Now, these two were arguing back and forth because apparently this person wasn't happy that their ex-boyfriend decided to basically break up with them to focus on school. And to that, I must say, props to man for wanting to focus on school. And that person who was crashing out on them, that was not a reasonable crash out. Anyways, so I mute both of them, and I go to get the side from both stories. I go to the ex-boyfriend first, and I'm like, hey, I know that I'm probably gonna get yelled at by the other person for muting them, so can you at least explain to me what happened on your side? And they're like, oh yeah, no, I can explain. This person's not happy that I broke up with them because I wanted to focus on school. And I was like, okay, cool, thank you. I go to the other person, and I'm already noticing that they just spammed imagine admin abusing LOL 12 times. Keep in mind, I was trying to keep everything situated and calm because, well, I didn't want a fight to break out. And Vivi was trying to take a break at that time. She wanted to take a break from all the stress and try and de-stress. I sent Vivi over screenshots of everything, and that person was banned from the Discord server. And they tried talking to Vivi, and I had them sent over to me. And they were not happy that they got sent over to me, immediately started crashing out upon me, and then tried to Photoshop the emails. Yes, I contacted them through email. I am that fucking psychotic. Anyways, but I did that, and they basically tried to get Vivi's at the time boyfriend to basically ban me. And I talked with him, and I'm like, hey, this is the situation that's going on, so you're aware. I hope this clears stuff up. And he's like, oh, thank you. And then I let Vivi know about the situation, which caused, well, the entire downfall of that. Either way, that server is gone to time. But one of the few things that I am glad about is that my friends are there for me. And one day, that person who was manipulating Vivi was in a call with me and two other friends. And I was like, hey, one of Vivi's friends wanted to join the call with us. And they started making fun of him for his ADHD, his autism. And I immediately fucking snapped. I You do not respectfully bully someone for something they cannot help. That is literally beating down on someone who is defenseless. And so I snapped at both of them. I snapped at them, and they both immediately shut up and started private chatting each other. And at that moment, I just was tired of it. Tired of hearing people bullying other people behind their backs. And eventually, I get a message day or two later from Vivi's friend Max, and he's like, "Hey, man, thanks for sticking up for me when I wasn't there to hear it." And I told him, I'm like, "Yeah, no one should bully anyone who has autism. It's flat out wrong. It's fucking rude. And you're just an asshole if you do it." Like, if someone is personally stimming and their mother's like, "I'm sorry, my son's autistic," do you think that kid is gonna be happy with the manager basically telling them that we don't like the fact that your kid is stimming? No. That kid's gonna be depressed because that kid can't help it. It's like my depression episodes. I can't help it. And it's something that people need to understand, that sometimes an autistic person or someone who has ADHD can't help something that is neurological. It's not their fault. And people need to understand that. I feel like we as a society in this world have just gone on and silently agreed that making fun of autistic people is just a normal thing. It's not. I have friends who are autistic who have ADHD, and I have a brother who is autistic and has a lot of neurological problems. But that doesn't stop me from caring for my brother, because I care about him. It's hard to put into words how messed up the world is becoming. And I want to try and be one of those people who is there for someone else to remind them that, hey, it's okay. This stuff happens. And my girlfriend and I want to adopt a kid. And I understand that adoption will be a bitch, especially for two male parents. Yes, spoiler. I call him my girlfriend. He doesn't mind. Whoop, big whoop. Cancel me on Twitter. I don't care. But still, I'm happy with them. And they want to adopt. And I'm happy to adopt, because I want to try and give the kid that we if we do adopt, I want to try and give that kid the best fucking life I can give them. Now, I know that I probably won't be the best father because I am a pothead. I smoke weed. But at the same time, I want to show my kid that I'm not gonna leave him. I'm not just gonna walk out on his life. I'm gonna show my kid that I'm smarter than my father. I want to be able to actually cook a meal for my kid and not hand it to him right when it gets off the pan scalding hot. And the reason why I say that is because my father, when I was very young, he basically spanked me for moving around as a toddler when changing my diaper. And not only that, when he went to go give me a bowl of oatmeal, he basically immediately handed it to me right as he got it out of the microwave. And if you guys know how hot oatmeal is when you get it right out of the microwave, that shit is like lava, bro. That shit is not fun. And when you're 3, when you're young like me and still developing your brain, you don't realize that, hey, you should wait a second for that oatmeal to be cooled off. And I took a bite of that oatmeal and burned my mouth. And my mom basically scolded my father because that was a stupid move. Why the hell would you give your son a bowl of oatmeal right out of the oven, god damn it, right out of the microwave? I'm gonna start saying microwave oven, I swear. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so stupid. I was drinking a little bit before I started recording. Remember, don't drink. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink while depressed. And if you are drinking because you are in a hard time, please call someone. Do not go down the route of ending your own life, because that's not something you should do. Your life matters in this world, and you may understand that it's hard in this world, and I know I can't say that it's not hard. I've experienced this world, and I can agree with you. The world fucking sucks on how hard it is. But you know what? We're still here. So, even if you're in a hard situation, even if you're in a tight spot, know that there is someone out there that you can reach out to, even if it's the hotline. Just you gotta know that you're safe and that it's not an option that you should take. Because believe me, I had thought about it before, but thankfully, 2 of my at the time boyfriend and a friend of mine talked me out of it. And now I'm so happy because I am now I am in the happiest relationship I could ever be in. And I love Bunny so much. But I want to give my kid the best I can give him. I don't want to be a father who just focuses on games and just doesn't focus on his kid. I want to be there to basically help my kid with his math and then show him games that I like and teach him how to play them and learn what that kid's interested in and see if I can't help build our relationship of a fatherly bond with that kid. Because if I can, then I can at least help him through tough situations that he's been through. He's gonna go through, sorry. Whether that be his first breakup or struggling on his own math homework. I want to be there for my son or daughter or whatever my kid wants to prefer themselves to be called. I don't care. I want to be there for them. And if my kid grows up and doesn't like me or grows up to resent me for smoking pot or the fact that I'm not Christian, then that's fine. I can only hope that I at least got him onto his feet long enough for him to get himself on his feet. Find someone who loves him. Oy. Big stretch. Sorry. And once I do that, I will be happy because then I know that my son, I didn't fail on him. Even if he resents me, I didn't give up on him. Whereas my father has given up on me. I want to be the father who steps up for their kid. And it's quite interesting to be thinking about how I'm gonna be as a father, because I'm not used to having my father in my life. He was never really there to take me out to dinner or to get lunch or something, or to go watch like a baseball game with him. Flat out, just never in my life. So, I want to give my kid that joy of taking him somewhere he wants to go. Going as a family with me, Bunny, and my kid, or kid, depending on how many they want to adopt. I prefer one though, just to get a basic grasp on everything, because I don't want to have a struggle between both of them having a disagreement between each other about who the favorite child is. Because truth be told, they would both be my favorites in their own ways. Yeah, that's probably like something stupid that a kid would think that I don't know how to English words properly. It would be something a kid would think that is stupid to say, but in reality, it's the truth. Because each kid is different. I'm not expecting both of them to be artistic superstars or amazing god tier singers. No. I am expecting them to just be happy and to hopefully make it through life with a smile on their face, knowing that there is someone in their life to support them, even if they didn't have that person to support them in their life. And it's something I'm used to because when my grandma died, for example, my aunt just cut all contact with my mom. Never asked me if me and my brother wanted to come over anymore. Just cut all contact after my grandma died. And it hurts. Because it goes to show that my aunt didn't really care for us. She just wanted to see. She probably just brought us over because we wanted to see Grandma, and we haven't seen her in a while. And I'm sad. I miss my grandma. You know. I know other people are still have their grandma in life, but I lost mine when she was when she was technically bedridden, and I was 16. I was going through a rough time in my life, and losing my grandma put me deeper into depression. Because I really loved my grandma a lot. I miss my grandma, you know. So, I always just go through life just with my head down, knowing that not a lot of people in my own family or life outside of my parents care for me. My aunts cut all contact with me and my mom. My other side, my stepdad's side of the family is not right in the head, to put it lightly. I don't want to go into it with their side of the family because of how it is, but it's not good. And so I'm left with the morals of my own head. And I want to try and give my kid the best life I can give him. Even if I drink here and there, even if I smoke pot, I still want to be there for my kid and show them that no matter what, I will stay in their life. If they want me to slow down on smoking weed and quit drinking, then I will slow down on smoking weed and quit drinking. I will love my kid like my stepdad has loved me. I will show that kid the love that both of our father figures who put us into this world have never shown us. I will show that kid what it is like to actively be in a family. I'm probably rambling on. But, I'm gonna end this stoner story time here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. And, if you want to come back for more, please like and subscribe. That's all I ask. Anyways, have a good day, night, whatever time it is for you, and stay safe. Bye bye.